Thanks for joining us now at noon. I'm Tracy Hutchins. Closing arguments happening right now in South Georgia. Attorneys for the defense and prosecution making their final plea to the jury who will decide whether Ahmaud Arbery's killers targeted him because he was black. CBS 46's Haley Mason joins us live from Glenn County, where Gregory and Travis McMichael, the father and son, along with William Roddy Bryan, have all pleaded not guilty. Haley?
Tracy, they pleaded not guilty to federal hate crimes charges, and today is the last day of arguments in this Department of Justice case. I actually just stepped out of the courtroom where closing arguments are still happening behind me. A much different scene from the criminal trial. A lot fewer people, really quiet here. Not a lot of real estate for people to gather either way, so many people are watching our reporting to keep up with this case. Inside the courtroom right now, there is an entire row of Arbery family members sitting in the front, sitting right behind the Department of Justice. Lee McMichael is sitting alone with her attorney. Now, inside this morning, the Department of Justice prosecutor Chris Perez gave his first part of his closing, telling jurors to find the defendants guilty of killing Ahmaud Arbery in this case because of his race and because that he was accessing public streets and they tried to interfere with that. Also, there's a kidnapping charge and a use of guns during a crime charge. He's asking them to find the defendants guilty of all of those things. Perez says there is a big difference in being a vigilant person and being a vigilante. He says that the men suspected Arbery of being a criminal because they were driven by racial assumptions, racial anger, and racial resentment, ignoring that 3 white suspects were actually found to have committed crimes in the weeks prior to the murder, and they still ignored those people and chased after Arbery. He said that Travis McMichael went into a revenge fantasy, trying to post videos signifying that black people were criminal and deserved to be hurt and killed. That's just one part of the closing that the Department of Justice put on this morning. They will present a second closing at the end. At this point, there are jurors that are being very attentive. I saw one white woman juror nodding her head yes during some of Perez's closing. Another juror also taking notes in the back row. Arbery's mother at some point was staring at the defendants across the courtroom. The defendants not showing any emotion this morning, but Ahmaud Arbery's father certainly emotional, having to just shake his head and hold his head back at certain points during the closing argument. This has been a long road for the family, a long road for this community, and today we are expecting that this jury will get the case some point this evening to start deliberating. For now, reporting live outside the federal courthouse in Brunswick, Haley Mason, CBS 46 News.